back with another episode of Real Life Movie Talk. It is your boy Chris.
Blockbuster Ben.
John.
Indeed.
Yep.
Ageless Wonder.
Here we are.
What's up, boys?
What up?
Has there been a big gap
What?
between our last one and this? I feel like it's been so long, but the movies have been coming out. Yeah.
No, we just put one out. We just
Tuesday,
recorded.
right?
We just recorded.
I haven't seen you guys, I guess.
Monday.
I don't know.
Yeah, not too long ago.
It's been about a week.
So the
Long amount of
episode
time.
dropped Friday,
Monday.
and then so now.
1 week?
Yeah, it was before that.
Yeah,
the one before
yeah.
that was the big.
We haven't done a podcast in a while.
That's
which
what
we
it
will
is.
be getting to tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. We got some delicious smelling
Tacos.
stuff right here in front of
John's
us.
turn to do the snacks. So yeah.
These are tacos from a little spot right up the street from here called Las Vegas. I've been here for coming up on 7 years. I just had these for the first time last year.
By here, you mean?
Windsor Mill area.
Okay.
My home, just my sanctuary where we are here, where we do the new movie review. I was going to try it a long time ago and tell these guys a story earlier, but my wife went there with my buddy's wife, and I don't think they knew it's self-seating. So they just walked in and stood by the door. And this is only because I've been there now, but apparently they walked in there and stood by the door and nobody kind of like greeted them. So instead of asking somebody to seat them, they just left. And from the way I looked at it was, you know, it's a Hispanic restaurant. There's some white girls in there. They didn't take the time to see them. So I was like, F this place. I'm not going there. I can tell you, I'm pissed off because I went there. And as soon as I walked in, I realized it's self-seating because there's no host. So I walked right in and we sat down immediately. 2 seconds later, there was a waitress at our table. And I waited 5 goddamn years to try these tacos. And I'm telling you, I've been missing out because these are some of my favorite steak tacos.
We're going steak first.
We got steak, which are more ethnic. It's just cilantro. I had a little bit of tomato salsa. And then there's chicken, which is American style with sour cream, tomato, lettuce, and cheese. But I'm going to go steak first.
Steak first.
That's pretty good, man.
And the steak is cold right now because they've been sitting. But it's
Not-
not chewy. It's not chewy.
Nope.
But it's the number one thing for me. The hot sauce is hot. I played myself the first time. I was like, oh, this can't be that bad. But you warned me. You know how we do. I saturated my first taco. I was like, whew, I'm sweating out my nose, my ears, my forehead, my back.
That's really good.
It's definitely a good steak.
That's
For a taco. Like, you're not getting filet mignon, or you don't want that either. This is good.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite place prior to this was a place called R&R Taqueria out on Washington.
Oh, the best.
They started a little backstory. They started as a gas station taqueria. The guy bought right across in the same little strip mall. There was a deli. The guy that owned the steak place bought the deli and then opened R&R Taqueria in there. Greatest place in the world until about 3 years. This is hence why I'm here, and because of a recommendation of a friend. But the last 2 times that I went there, they also put a burger place inside of the gas station. They moved that in there as well because the burgers were so good. Well, I played golf with the brother of the owner, and he was telling me about how they were thinking about selling it. After they sold it, the last 2 times that I've gone there, I wanted to get a burger and tacos. The last time I went there, they didn't have burgers. So I was like, all right, give me tacos, Jen, I wanted fries. They come back, they didn't have steak. The time before, the very last time that I went there, same thing. I wanted burger and tacos. This time they didn't have steak. They only had burgers, no fries. I was like, you know what? I'm done with this place. I've had enough.
I haven't been post-COVID. So it's been a little while. And I used to love that place. But I went one time. When did they get bought out? Do you know?
Maybe 2 years ago.
So maybe I went...
Right before COVID.
I might have went since the change. I went one time. Their breakfast burritos used to be I would get
good.
The chorizo breakfast burrito. I went maybe 1 or 2 times. They're like, we don't have chorizo today. I'm like,
See?
well...
See, and it's not like, you know, nowadays you could go, that's COVID. You know what I mean? Everybody says they don't have stuff, so they can charge you more. This was before that. And I took my buddy, dude, I talked this place up so much. And my buddy is very particular. My buddy Sean, he'll probably watch this. He works with me. But he's very particular about his food. I'll tell you, this dude will wait in line. I swear to God. We were driving home from DC one day. And I was like, I'm starving. I want to stop right here. I'm sorry, we were working in Gaithersburg. I was like, I want to stop right here at this Chipotle. He's like, I'm not really a big Chipotle guy. Didn't have a good time there. Let's go to Chick-fil-A. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, you know, Chick-fil-A is busy as shit during lunch hours. So we wait in line for like 20 minutes, 15 minutes maybe.
Whoa.
The line was almost outside the door. We're waiting in line. I'm sitting there. I'm a fat boy. So when I get close, I'm like pacing back and forth because I know I'm about to eat something. I'm like, man, I'm about to get me an 12 count and a spicy chicken deluxe meal. I look at him. I'm like, what are you getting? He's like, I'm trying to decide if I'm even going to eat. I was like, what? So we get up there and I order, and he just steps out of line. He doesn't even get any food. I'm like, you made me come to this piece of shit. I could have been done over there, and now you're not even going to get food? At least 3 different times I've gone to eat with him. He'll wait in line with me and then not order anything. I'm like, do you get disgusted by the food as you're waiting? And I'm just sitting at the table, like, scarfing my food down, like I got a homeless guy with me, like I'm going to give him my fucking change or something after him. I feel terrible about it. I'm like, and he picked the place.
That's the most bizarre behavior I've ever heard.
Ridiculous.
I like it.
So that
I like it.
it's like he does it deliberately. Does it to make me feel awkward. Because I got 2 full meals. I look like a bully at lunch. I look like a bully at lunch, and I took his because I got 2 full lunches in front of me. I'm just garbing it down. He's like, he's just sitting, not using his phone, just looking at me. I'm like, this is very awkward.
He's watching you eat.
This is so awkward.
He waits to hear there's an outbreak or some sort of like chain
Salmonella.
Ooh, Chick-fil-A's been getting shut down. You know what? Let's go there first.
Right.
Yeah. Oh
So
my God, that's funny.
I tell him I talked this R&R Taqueria.
R&R was also on guys.
Yes.
When
it was still hitting the gas station.
Triple D.
So I take him there, and he's a big tacos pastor guy. I take him there, I get my tacos, and this is the last time mine were awesome. I get my food, he gets his, and he looks at him and he goes, these aren't El Pastor. I was like, no, boy. And I had been talking these bitches up because where we were working, we drive past there every day. So finally we stopped by there on a Friday. And they were bad. So bad, he sent them back. Damn. I felt bad for him.
So this is chicken, right?
Uh-huh. Oh.
That's also good. You know, it's a funny story.
Tasted grill marks, which is important.
I haven't been back to that Korean barbecue place up by where Sports Authority used to be. Because
The
Iron Age.
Iron Age.
We walked in, stood there. No, and there's a hostess standing there. Stood there. Maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Nobody came to talk to us. We were like, all right, I haven't been back. So people say it's good. I don't know. I'll just go into the little hub next door, or the I'll just eat there.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
But these are good, and I'm glad to know about this now because I will eat there.
Yeah, steak tacos were fire.
2 tips. 1, I would say go there and eat. Get the corn tortillas. Trust me. 2,
I'm a gringo.
if you take your daughter and she's not a big taco person, they're quesadillas. They take a full tortilla, layer it like a pizza, and put another tortilla on top. For $8, you get basically 2 full goddamn quesadillas.
Wow.
Yeah, they cook the whole thing, flip it over, cook it, cut that in half, fold it, and then cut that into 4s.
Wow.
It's 2 full, like, I'm full
Okay.
when I get it done.
Hey, speaking of Celine, man.
Yeah. Shout out.
I could not be more proud of her, man. Like, so 2 weekends ago, her rec team won the rec championship, right? They do it. It's always like right around Halloween. They call it the Boo Bash. They lost 1 game in the regular season to this team. I think they lost 2-0. Was the score. And and this is again a rec division, right? There was 3 or 4 club players on this rec team, and you can tell if you've ever watched club soccer players versus rec soccer players.
They're different.
Dude, they do 2 nights of conditioning a week, a practice. They travel for tournaments every weekend. They basically play soccer all week. Rec teams, like, these are the parents that can't, like, on top of the cost, it's like, come on, like, you got a job.
Yeah.
Nobody has time to do that if you got a job. Anyway, they were good, right? Fast forward to the championship, playing the same team. Those club players didn't show up.
Oh, my gift.
10-0. Smoked them.
Yeah.
And I felt bad for some of the girls that were out there, like, on the other team. Like, obviously I would
Were
win.
you yelling?
No. I mean, I do if the situation.
Not when you're winning 10-0.
10-0. Like, come on. And it's just.
Like angry, yell like, yeah.
Oh, they get first couple goals, but then you get past 5, 6, 7 to nothing. It's
right.
like, all right,
slow down.
yeah. But if I'm the other coach, I'm furious.
Yeah.
It's irritating to me that they even let parents register their club kids in the rec division, because if they've got a club tournament that weekend, they're not coming.
Right.
So now this team had no subs. The whole game. It was
And
like
it's a multi-game tournament.
this was the championship.
Was one of the
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The same day.
Oh yeah.
So those kids played consecutive games without a break.
Not this time.
Okay.
This time I think they were both fresh teams going. Or
Was
maybe
one of the club players a goalie?
no.
So Lane only played one game Saturday?
Okay, so that's weekends ago. The championship was one game.
Okay.
So this past weekend though was that she had a game Friday, she had 2 games Saturday, and then the championship was this past Sunday, and they won that too. That was the Falston Cup. So 2 weekends, 2 championships.
Let me find out.
Congrats.
She a club player?
She's not. and
Don't lie on us.
No, you.
Did she not go to a club game
No,
Saturday,
and
Sunday with
listen,
the girls?
Listen, dude. You guys know I'm here all the time. When do I have time to get her to club soccer, right?
Stop doing the movie reviews.
No more Warzone.
No, and I don't want her to be that, like, play, have fun with your friends, have a good.
What
like,
if she wanted to do club?
we
figure out a way to make time for it?
I would try, but like I would need help. You know,
Uber.
like
Uber.
yeah.
Uber is the way to do it now. Plus carpools
She's
and
11.
shit.
She'll be
Like,
driving in 5 years.
I think a lot of those, like the parents that do club,
Yeah.
one of those parents doesn't have a job, right? So
Uh,
there's a lot of like,
so I played club ball. I played Metro, and when I played for the Little League World Series team, we practiced 2 times a day and went to batting cages 3 days a week. I feel you on that. And most of the time, it was you just build a bond with one of the all the parents know each other because you're there all the time. So like sometimes my dad would be able to get off work early and he would take 4 of us, or some this parent sometimes you are right, like because club is expensive, and a lot of times that allows
Sounds miserable.
that is awesome. If you
To
love
play.
if you love playing sports, and my dad was a coach too, but like if you love playing sports, it's awesome because all I
kids.
wanted to do was play baseball.
For kids. I'm not parents.
there's a burden.
It is a burden unless there's a good chance that your son goes pro or daughter goes pro or something like
Yeah.
that. But you also support them. Like if you want your kid to be great at something, look, there ain't a whole lot of rec players making it to the pros. Period. Because I tell you
Or club. How many club soccer players make it to the MLS or whatever?
I know. I'm just saying that the percentage is a lot lower because the difference between when I played in the Little League World Series team to when I played for the Yankee Rebels, which was the next step up as a Metro team, was huge. The practices. I mean, I had to get I got coach. We had pro ball players coming to teach us how to bat and field. Like the batting cages all the time. I would go on my own. Like, and then the tier from that to even high school ball. Like it's a lot. And then my cousin Sean, who played for River Hill and then played for Shepherd College, he's like, and that's a D3 school. But he said, and River Hill was the best school in Maryland for 2 straight years when he played. Yeah. He said the transition from that, even practicing 3 times a day, to college is a huge step. He's like, if you don't love football, you'll never make it.
I don't know. Adam Clark's one of my best friends. I talked to him all the time. He said he didn't have to try that hard at all.
Oh man. No, but
Could you get him on our show?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to exploit it.
the point, it's like, dude, she enjoys playing. She likes being out there with her friends, and that's what, like,
And that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, I don't want it to feel like a job for her. I don't, if she,
I was just curious if you chose to go to that next level,
if she wanted to,
I figure you make it happen.
I would do whatever she wanted to make it happen for her. But she would have to say,
Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive as shit.
just to play, not
Oh,
talking
yeah.
travel, like where you're staying in hotels every weekend, you're doing this, you're doing that. I mean, it's nuts, and I just,
The 5 jerseys you gotta buy.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Do you get angry if she loses?
I don't get angry. I get upset if she doesn't give
I was agreeing.
her full effort.
Do you get
if-
angry if she doesn't get angry about losing?
No, like if but I've seen her cry at a loss
Oh,
before.
that's good though.
And
In my
like,
opinion, that's good.
And I was like, it was actually the loss to the club team.
Oh, okay.
The in the regular season. We're getting back to the house, like I'm dropping out of her mother's, and she's like, I can see it. I'm like, what's wrong? And then she could just, you
The
could
emotions
tell,
hit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I loved that. And, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think as she's getting a little older, I think she's enjoying it even more because
She's competitive now.
she's getting pretty damn good
right,
too. Like
right.
she plays defense, and I'm telling you, man, this past weekend in the Folsom Cup, 1-on-1, nobody was getting by her. Like she was it was amazing. She saved a goal one time that could have potentially changed them
You were
getting
going
into the
nuts, weren't
championship. Yeah, so like this girl got a fast break. Celine chased her ass down and kind of gave her a little
touch.
just a little,
Hey, I'm
you
here.
know,
Hey, I'm here.
yeah, just like a little.
Little
But
cheeky.
in that situation, that's what you take
Yeah,
the penalty.
Oh, yeah.
You take the
Yeah.
penalty to save the goal.
Just like a non-flagrant foul.
Yep.
You're like, look, hey man, you ain't winning a game like that.
But they didn't even call it. That was the best part. It's like, let them play.
Right.
Let them play. We had, dude, real quick, and then we can move on. I'm sorry. This parent in the rec league, right? They, the game to get into the championship in the rec league, she, it was a pretty tight game, you know. But then we scored and we scored again. But that was a pretty physical game. Both teams were kind of like, you know, pushing elbows. Like, but if your hands are down, it's like one thing. Anyway, one parent stormed the field, got in the ref's face, who's like a 15-year-old kid.
Oh no!
He was the only one. They didn't have enough refs for the tournament, whatever. He was playing in the game after he was done refereeing. Like the guys, he's doing the best he can, and it wasn't bad. He wasn't like missing serious calls. These girls were bumping into each other. It was a whole thing. Yeah. So that she gets in his face, and he's like, "Look, you gotta go. You're out of here." He bounced her. He's like, "Get out."
So that was a mom.
It was a mom.
Oh,
yeah, from
I
the
take
other.
back what I said.
What did you say?
I said, good thing that ref wasn't my kid. I've been beating that person's ass.
No, it was a mom's.
And
I'm like, grow up. This kid's 15. Like, right. So anyway, she gets tossed. She's packing up her shit to leave. Game resumes, and
the daughter's crying.
And then, like, if that's my mom, I'm like, God, bro, you know. Right. Anyway,
whose mom is that?
So then another girl fell. Yeah. I didn't kind of see what happened with her. So then this other mom from the other end of the field, she screams across. She's like, if you don't call that, starts screaming. And she's like, and she looks at our sideline, and she's like, if one of those kids pushes on one of our kids one more time, I'm coming over there and I'm beating every kid's ass. This is a 50-year-old woman threatening 10 and 11-year-olds. I was like, this can't be real. That's sure enough was, yeah.
I would have told Selena to push the kid over.
Yeah, I wanted to see it.
Have you let her watch Ted Lasso?
Selena, haven't. It's a little bit much.
I know, but I bet you want to so big.
I do.
She's gonna love it.
I do.
Playing soccer.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry we kind of ran on there, but
see, I told you we haven't seen each other in forever.
Yeah, and we could do okay. Have you guys been watching anything aside from the Eternals?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I watched $1 Million Baby.
Great movie.
It's an awesome
It was a great movie.
First time?
Did you cry?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Did you cry?
I teared up a little bit when she was, spoiler alert, in the hospital bed.
It's always shit.
Talking about just kill me, and then her family tried to take advantage of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sad.
That's a sad ass movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's on. If you look up any of those IMDb lists or whatever for sad movies, that's definitely a crime movie.
Yeah, and it was for the longest. I don't know if it still is, but it was in the top 250 on IMDb for a long time too.
It's a good movie.
Best Picture, I think it won back then.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood directed. Yep.
Morgan Freeman narrated. Can't go wrong there.
Love a good Morgan Freeman narration. I watched the Yellowstone premiere. The first 2 episodes, they did like a 2-hour premiere. I missed Sundays. I haven't watched that yet, so I haven't seen episode 3.
I have.
Was it just as good?
Carry on.
Okay, the first 2 episodes, dude.
I haven't seen them yet.
I mean, unbelievable.
The first episode is like 13 hours.
Yes. Oh man, it's incredible. I've been saying this since we started. If you're not watching Yellowstone, I don't know what you're doing with your life, right? I mean, it's
like Yellowstone or Ted Lasso more.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
It's different.
I think I like Yellowstone more than Ted Lasso.
I lean towards action anyway, you know. So but man, oh man, that's such a great show.
The only difference is there's no real downtime in Ted Lasso because he's always like, there is a little bit of downtime, but it builds the story. Yeah, my buddy Greg is a Marine and he was Special Forces, and he was like, yo, that first episode,
Casey,
he was like, dude, that shit looked real.
Yeah,
he was like, just like the sound effects and that, like all of it. He was like, damn.
Well, he flipped that dead. Oh man. Anyway,
yeah. It's very. The first episode is like, bam.
Yeah.
It literally starts exactly where the last one ends, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
These 3, and the third episode is very good as well.
Yep. I also watched The Harder They Fall, the Netflix movie, the Western.
I was going to ask you what you thought about
that. Was good.
It was pretty damn entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I liked that actually maybe just as much, if not more, than Red Notice, which I also watched today.
So like the last 2 shows, different but enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see The Harder They Fall? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it, but not as much as Red Notice.
Yeah. They're both like enjoyable.
Yeah.
I just definitely different movies. You know, it was.
It reminded me of the filming I was talking to him about. What's his name did Django.
Tarantino.
Yeah, it reminded me of Tarantino, like just the way the movie progresses and the shots and the colors and everything like that. I was telling him like the all white town that they go to, everything in the town is white. You know what I mean? It's little fucking details like that.
I looked down and then looked up and they were in the bank, so I missed it coming in.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is this bank so white? Yeah. Right? And then when they left or came back later, and I was like, Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it
Yeah,
now.
it was the point of all of it. Like that had zero character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Zero like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, vibrance at all. And then you go to the other towns, and you know, all the colors, and I thought they did a good job. It was kind of neat.
Maybe this is a better comparison. I think I liked it more than the remake of The Magnificent Seven with like Chris Pratt
I agree
and
with that.
Denzel.
Yeah.
They tried too hard.
Way too hard. It just something about that movie didn't feel, you know.
Right. This one had some cheeky shit in it.
Yeah.
Too, but it just seemed more authentic.
Yeah.
I love the Quick Shot. I thought his character was awesome.
And I was mad how that
Cherokee.
played
I'm
out.
actually
Bill?
okay with how it played out, but I didn't.
Oh, the kid.
Yeah.
The one who gets shot in the face.
Yep.
The one that was just eager.
Spoiler. Yeah.
All right.
And it had a good twist too.
Yeah.
I thought. Anyway, so what about you? What have you been watching?
That's what I saw. I watched $1 Million Baby.
You said all three of us.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, sorry. You did say that. Man.
I watch everything Ben watched also.
Hey, it's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday.
Go Tuesday. That's my shirt. You gotta pay more to get it off center. Just like the Ravens. They're a little bit off right now.
Yeah. So do we want to do a quick impromptu of Red Notice?
Yeah, I do want to say one thing about that Harder They Fall. I don't like the fact that you don't get to see Idris Elba be gangster at all.
Wow, he beat that dude's teeth out.
And the beginning was
That was it. So you see him for 2 seconds at the beginning, make a decision, and then at the end, he hits the guy with the butt of his. He doesn't beat his ass either. They square up, they drop their shit like they're gonna fight, and he gets the gun from Shorty and hits him in the face. He doesn't even fight him. He fucking cheats. He grabs the gun out of the girl's hand. That's a pussy to me.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be such a badass. The only thing I would have changed about that, real quick, is I would have sent that Marshal in there at the end and had them two go head to head.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be the baddest dude around.
And the Marshal could have been expendable too.
Yeah, you don't need him for the next one. Or whatever. You don't need him for the movie to end the way it ended.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
The Rock movie.
Yeah. Red Notice.
Red Notice.
We're gonna do a quick review of it, I think.
Ryan
right?
Reynolds is hilarious.
It'll be quick.
And yeah, real quick, and we'll just. 'Cause
10.
I wouldn't mind giving it like official scores, you know.
11.
So anyway, it's
unbiased.
It's brand new Netflix movie. It stars Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, and some other people. But those, I mean,
I remember the Indian girl. Her. Bitch.
Fair. Sorry.
So you have to tug that now? Oh, there's nothing in there. Okay. So yeah, it just and they play. Dwayne Johnson plays an FBI agent on the hunt of an art thief, played by Ryan Reynolds, and then Gal Gadot is also like the other art thief. Yeah, the other art thief. And they're chasing the Cleopatra's eggs.
Very Ocean's 12-ish.
Very that movie with Sean Connery and what's her name?
Entrapment.
Yeah, Entrapment. Very much like that movie because there is a cop who is also actually a thief.
Yeah.
Spoilers, guys.
Yeah, right into it. Okay. Spoiler alert. I'll have to make sure I put that
I
up.
didn't get much out there on that. I didn't tell
That's
say
a
who.
big fucking spoiler.
I didn't say who.
That was a big.
There's
There's
literally
only one
3
cop.
cops in the whole movie.
There's 2 cops.
Anyway. But yeah, so I just watched it today. I thought it was all right, and the only reason we brought this up is because we were talking about it beforehand, and they both really loved it, and I just thought,
Oh, I didn't really love it.
I didn't really love it either.
you definitely said.
Hold on a minute. I said I liked the movie. Did
I
you
thought
say
it was
he really loved it?
hilarious.
Okay,
yeah.
you said that. I heard.
I
one thing.
laughed
Okay.
a lot.
Okay.
My score won't be nearly as high as you think it is. I did think it was Ryan Reynolds. I was telling, is so
outstanding.
underrated.
What's the movie?
He's so funny.
What is the movie we reviewed where no one really liked it, but I gave it a score because it had me laughing a lot?
I don't.
If I think about it,
got so many
I will
movies.
come up to that soon. But it came out in the last year or so, and it wasn't that great of a movie, but it was funny.
Okay.
Suicide Squad. The second Suicide Squad.
yeah,
Same
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's how I put it. Like it's not great. There's things that could be fixed,
Yeah.
but I laughed a lot.
And
Okay.
Suicide Squad was funny and stupid.
Yeah,
I think this is better than that.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad.
Ooh, that's a tough.
I would say that. It's funny, man.
And as much, can we get into a little bit of it? As much as I like The Rock, I didn't give Suicide Squad a great score. I don't think.
Me and you gave it the same score, 6.5.
Yeah.
Chris gave it a 7.2.
Yeah. So this I definitely like more. As much as I like The Rock, I didn't like him in this movie at all.
Me neither. And I
love The Rock. He's my main crush.
I didn't hate him in it.
I would have Rock babies if I could.
he was so boring and unbelievable as this character. And I also typically enjoy his movies. I thought Jungle Cruise was fun. He's great in Jumanji. Even going back to like Walking Tall and The Rundown when he first started. I enjoyed those movies, man. You know, as Hobbs.
Not
and
a good actor in The Rundown.
But he's enjoyable in those movies.
He's funny. He's funny when he's that weird FBI agent in the movie with Kevin Hart, whatever that is called.
Central Intelligence.
I thought he was funny in that because I thought he was funny in that just because he's not The Rock. You know what I mean? It's just it's way outside of his character.
They do that fantasy thing.
Yeah. That is one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and he's believable as like that guy in Hobbs in like Fast and Furious. Like that seems like a guy he would be. It's just like this.
I wish they would have used that version of him.
Yeah, well, this is it, right? I think they're trying to make him a heartthrob in this. Yeah. And for some reason, it's just not that believable.
It's flat.
It's because of what Ryan Reynolds said.
Not that he's a bad-looking dude, necessarily, but he's just like a boulder.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you that the back of your head looks like a penis?
That's really, yeah. But yeah, that was the main drawback for me was him. Ryan Reynolds, like you said, so funny. Always is, no matter what he does.
I disagree, actually.
Okay.
I've seen him in movies where it just felt like he was trying too hard.
Okay.
Like the movie was whatever it is, and they said, Ryan Reynolds, do you. And Green Lantern is a good example.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I refuse to watch it. Yeah, I refuse to watch it.
What's the movie where he dated that girl, the girl from Scary Movie?
Oh, Anna Faris.
She's like a superstar.
Just Friends?
I don't know. Same thing, though. It's just like he had to be himself.
Okay.
Are you talking about the one where he married Sandra Bullock?
No, that was funny.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, whatever. It doesn't matter. There's movies I don't find him that funny in.
Yeah.
And I think some of the jokes are corny. But this one just landed for me.
Okay.
I caught myself laughing a lot.
Yeah, I mean, all his lines were funny. Like and I also really liked Gal Gadot. Like, aside from the fact that she's, gorgeous, right? Yeah. But this was like different for her. I felt like she was playing this real devious kind of like.
She's not
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, yeah.
Yeah, I just liked
she was
seeing
whooping ass. She got the spear. Wonder Woman-esque.
I saw that scene a long time ago when they were making this movie because I followed a Rock on Instagram and they showed that.
Does he follow you back?
Yeah, of course. He comments on my stuff all the time. I don't think it's him though. I just made a Rock account and comment on it. Yeah, I seen that scene a while back and I was like, well, that's got to be a ploy for her character. But I mean, the whole thing is funny to me. I think that Ryan Reynolds I think in the beginning it's funny because like The Rock, his character at the beginning, like just his interaction with him when he catches him at first, and he's like the whole give me the bag thing, and then when they get back to the place and he's just sitting on the couch waiting for him, and he runs down like his background. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna be perfect for each other. They're gonna play off each other, and then it just doesn't happen for him. Like he just stays the exact same tone the whole entire time, and I feel like I don't know if that makes Ryan Reynolds funnier because he's so
well. That's what it is. The quirky funny guy versus the stone asshole.
Yeah. And that may make Ryan Reynolds' character even funnier because he's not. There's no competition. You know what I mean? It's easy to be the funniest person in the room when you're the only comedian in the room.
And the situation dictates it.
Right.
I was a little disappointed. Spoiler alert! That like the connection that they shared wasn't real. Like I enjoyed.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Okay.
I said that right.
That was quick though. You're like spoiler alert.
I'm gonna put it up before this anyway because we right away. Yeah. But I was just a little upset about that, man. Like I was like,
I actually loved that.
But I enjoyed the twist, which like, how do you, you know? So it was like a weird. I was like, oh, that sucks. Like if I'm Ryan Reynolds, I'm like.
And he tried so hard. He wanted to be his wife. What do you call them? Sister wives.
Work wives.
He tried so. He had like at least 6 or 8 puns. How those two were together. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I won't even say your favorite.
That's not my favorite line.
Oh, okay.
That was just a little bit that just makes a joke that isn't funny.
Yeah.
And that's funny.
Yeah.
It's the extra mile.
You can say it.
Yeah.
So we have lines. So
I don't know. This was impromptu.
I think my favorite line in the whole movie is I can't remember the specific scene, but Ryan Reynolds was about to get hit. There was a big fight scene and the guy swung something and The Rock pulled him up. As soon as he started looking, he went, you love me.
Yeah.
And I was dying.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the part where towards the end where like he goes back into the water looking for him and then like he sees he's like, and they have it's like the reverse, right? Yeah. So I like that a lot. If I forget what was said, but it's more along the lines of like, you do, like, you know, like, so I did enjoy that. Yeah.
And when The Rock jumps in the chopper and he's like, "What the hell, man? You're gonna leave me?" He said, "You said save yourself." He said, "I said go." You said go save yourself. I was praying for you, and here you are. God has. He said, "I was gonna live with you in my heart for the rest of my life." Dude, it's like, Ryan Reynolds is so good. Man.
Yeah. You said save yourself.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I said go.
Yeah.
He said go save yourself.
Yeah.
What did he say? Can you fly a helicopter? He said, "Does the back of your head look like a penis?" That's what he answered.
You gotta watch it with people that are in the mood to laugh.
Yeah. So you said the thing you just said, like, you know how people say, like, you ask like a rhetorical question and somebody will be like, "Does a bear shit in the woods?"
Right.
Yeah.
I heard one today that I'd never heard before, and it made me laugh so hard. Somebody said something, and the guy goes, "Does a duck's dick drag weeds?"
Yeah, what were you watching?
Letterkenny.
Okay. That's some Letterkenny shit.
That does sound like something.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, that is hilarious, man. So, yeah. Anyway, would you guys change anything about it?
I don't know if I got that in depth with myself.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't have to.
Yeah. Actually, the twist really was good.
Yeah, I do like how it, and I did. Usually, I'm trying to look for that.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
It saved it from being totally predictable. You know what I mean?
I thought at the end his father was going to be one of the other people's partners.
Yeah, I thought the fathers were gonna somehow show up in the movie.
Yeah. When he kept saying he didn't want to talk about his dad, I thought somehow he was going to be either Gal Gadot's partner or that other cop's partner. I thought somehow or another they were going to all circle back together, or even The Rock's partner somehow. Like, I thought somehow he was going to be involved with all of it.
Yeah.
I think it got a little fantastical with the whole Nazi treasure search. Personally,
They had to give it a story.
and they kept saying this one thing a little bit. Directors had, but they're sitting there like, how would they even have got all this treasure in here? There has to be a back gate.
Yeah, did they
no.
bring the car down in pieces and build it?
But no, what you do is you put it there, and then you build the safe around it, and walk out when it's done.
Yeah.
But that's not what they did.
Well, they built it. Yeah, they built it in a coal mine. I thought it was funny that how when they go in there, when they get into the cave, it's about this wide, about as wide as my basement, and it's all gold and stuff. And then he gets to that car, but then when they get in the car, there's a bunch of other buggies in there.
Yeah.
Where the hell did buggies come from? They're like, all these cars just start from the
Yeah.
40s or something. But again, it's that movie. You know what I mean?
I'll take it. It has movies made by Netflix always seem to have that little bit that's just a tiny bit off.
The other Ryan Reynolds movie, which I thought could have been really good.
Yeah. Let's see what it's called.
6 Underground.
6 Underground, yeah.
That movie got, I think, a little bit better as it progressed, but starting out, I was like, this is tough.
And then what's the other one with Ben Affleck that I thought had enough characters to be awesome, which really
Frontier.
could have been awesome.
I really love that movie, actually.
I didn't hate it.
Always off a
I think
little.
you're right. I feel like it could have been a really good movie, and it just didn't get there for me.
They need like one more person to review script or something.
I'd cast, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. They wrote it at the same time as Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, it's been still on the shelf since 2008. I think if I was going to change anything, I'd cast somebody other than The Rock.
Who?
I don't know. I've been trying to think about that because I knew I was going to say that. I've been trying to think.
Chris Hemsworth will be amazing. I'm just going to throw that out there. Chris Hemsworth will be amazing.
Chris Evans.
Chris Hemsworth actually probably would be really good.
Yeah. And he'd be funny.
I was thinking John Hamm.
Yep, John Hamm.
He's hysterical. He's played an FBI agent before. He actually played Gal Gadot's husband in another movie.
I was going to say that. And she's not super good in that one.
No, but I like John Hamm a lot. I think he's so funny.
What was that movie with the guy from Michael Scott? He's in there with his girl.
Yeah, Date Night.
Oh my God, she comes downstairs in front of
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg in that fucking outfit she has on.
She's so tall.
Oh my God,
She's
she has
so
on like
tall,
she has
she
on
makes
like
Mark
black
Wahlberg
lace
look
with
short
just
as
his t-shirt on.
I
God damn, you gotta look up.
gotta revisit.
That's before she
You're damn right.
That's
You
before she
revisit that
was
scene.
That's also a hilarious movie.
It's awesome.
Date Night?
Date Night.
Oh, yeah,
When
it's
we go
really
to the
funny.
train, she's like, I think we're gonna get whacked off. I don't think we're gonna get whacked off. We're definitely gonna get whacked off.
Thursday goes, kill shot.
That's Tina Fey, right?
Tina Fey.
Yeah. Yeah, that is actually, you're right. That's low-key funny. The same with Keeping Up with the Joneses. I mean, that has one of my favorite jokes of all time.
That's the movie you're talking about with Gal Gadot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember that scene where John Hamm and Zach Galifianakis talking about having dinner or going out and get something to eat or whatever?
Maybe.
So John Hamm goes,
Like Chinese? The food?
As if he's talking about anything other. They're talking about going out to eat. I mean, dude, it's one of my favorite jokes of all time.
And I bet you that when he asked that, and that's not the
Right,
line.
yeah.
That's not. And I bet you the first time they filmed it, what's this guy's name?
John Hamm.
Was like,
Yeah.
just wanted the pure laughter.
Yeah.
John Hamm's great.
He's
And Zach
Galifianakis is awesome.
Yeah.
That Between Two Ferns. I'm getting way off topic.
Way off topic.
God damn.
Let's score this real quick and move on.
11.
11.
7-4.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 7-1 on this.
Okay. I'm gonna say 6.9. Look at
Ooh,
that.
69 in.
7-1-5 average.
You guys brought me up just slightly. I was thinking like 6,
I'm
7.
glad we brought you up to that number.
6.5, 6.6.
It's only for the humor for me.
Yeah, yeah.
If they put humor like that,
Oh my god! I just wrote the scores for
What,
this
what's it
on
called?
Eternals.
What is it?
Is that shit called Fast and Furious? If they had
Yeah.
humor like this in Fast and the Furious, they'd be a little more bearable.
What do you think? Yeah, that's fine.
I got other shit in me. High Noon.
This is good. This goes good with tacos. Limes.
Taco.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into the official review of Marvel's Eternals.
Marvel's Eternals.
We're supposed to watch The Infinite.
Very exciting.
The Infinite Eternals.
So pretty brand new. Just came out 2021. Rated PG-13, 2.5 hours long. Directed by Chloe Zhao, who directed Nomadland, which won Best Picture last year, which I found to be extremely boring. Have you guys seen that? The one with Frances McDormand where
I don't watch Best Pictures because they're extremely
You
boring.
just watched one today, $1 Million Baby.
They're boring.
Written by Chloe Zhao and some other people. And the plot is, it's the story of the Eternals, who are immortal beings that get sent to Earth basically at the beginning of time. And they really just help shape Earth's way of life.
Yeah, they're sent by a celestial,
Celestial
which is
being,
important because that is like the gods of the Marvel universe.
Celestial.
Yes. Celestial.
They're not.
There's no R.
They're not the end all be all,
Right.
but they are the first. Like before time, there were the.
They are the Big Bang.
What did you say?
The Celestials, yeah.
What?
Celestial.
That's what I said. Celestial.
Yeah, so again, very important. They are the one, it's a good detail to know. And this is the first time we've really seen them in the MCU. It's very exciting.
They pretend to have it in what's it, Loki, right? Those are supposed to be Celestials, and that's what they're called. And I'm pretty sure
They gave him an IPA.
we gotta look this up, but I'm pretty sure Star-Lord's father is
Celestial.
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 I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's a world creator.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
is.
world creator.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let me find
He-
out
he-
that the
he was-
main character of this is Star-Lord's grandfather. That'll be hilarious.
Yeah. It stars a whole bunch of people.
Eratham, the original?
What?
Eratham is the original Celestial, right?
I don't know.
Eratham, the one that they...
In this movie? Yeah, Arishem.
Arishem.
Yeah. But there's a whole bunch of
I
them.
thought they said that he was the original. Or he was the first for Earth.
Eratham of the
Arishem.
Celestial.
I can't focus on what you guys are saying because you're
It's
like...
because in the beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
as the credits roll, it says in the beginning...
Celestials.
Yes.
I don't think it specifies which
I
one.
thought it said the first was Arishem.
I don't think so.
And then okay.
I
might be wrong.
I
I could be wrong. It could be he could be the creator of our galaxy.
maybe he is.
I don't know. I thought he said in the beginning he was the first and he created the rest, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear some wild shit?
Yes.
The most powerful Celestial, whatever,
No, you had it right.
in the entire Marvel universe is Stan Lee. And he wrote himself into the comics that way.
Okay, so Celestials are led
Damn, I
by...
thought that would hit harder.
Yeah. Now let's focus on what you got. So I'm trying to find this out. The Celestials are led by Arishem the Judge. So he is...
The original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Said it
go.
right at the beginning.
God, I hope to see Celestials fight.
Yes. You did it.
You're so good.
I'm very smart. So,
You're not off center anymore.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people in this movie. A humongous cast. Gemma Chan plays Cersei. Richard Madden plays Icarus. Angelina Jolie is in it. Angelina Jolie's back with blonde hair. Haven't seen that since the blonde dreads.
It's kind of good for being 55 or whatever she is.
Salma Hayek, Kumail Nanjiani, and the list goes on and on. Like so many people. Sprite is Leah McHugh.
She does a good job.
Yep. Brian Tyree Henry plays Fastos, who he started on that show Atlanta as this kind of like a gangster rapper or whatever. To see how he's kind of developed into other movies, it's been pretty
got a lot of range.
Yeah. Fastos.
The black guy.
Oh, okay.
The builder, mechanic, or whatever.
Yeah.
He also played a very similar role in
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
No,
it was Kong versus
Kong.
Yeah.
It was
Godzilla.
Yeah. Lauren Ridloff, who I really loved. She's a deaf actress.
You're married.
Huh?
You're married.
No, I'm saying as an actress. I love her as an actress. I saw her. She showed up in The Walking Dead. I forget in one of the later seasons as a deaf character, and then you find out she's actually deaf in real life.
Yeah.
So they bring her in and she plays a deaf character, and I thought that was kind of cool too.
It's one of my gripes in this.
I was gonna say I don't want to sound insensitive, but that kind of threw me off.
Yeah, that's one of my gripes in this.
But yeah, so many people. So many. Kit Harington.
Loved it.
Little Kit.
Little Kit.
So funny that the love interest for a character named Cersei is played by Kit Harington.
Yeah, there's 3 Game of Thrones characters in this movie?
Yeah.
Is it 3?
Something like that.
Great. Game of Thrones is back, baby.
Yeah. Anyway.
And the name Cersei.
What are your guys' overall thoughts on the movie? Did you enjoy it?
I did.
Very much.
I liked it a lot too.
Thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I love the graphics. When they do the space, when they get to outer space and they kind of show how the worlds are created, and you kind of see all I love outer space in general, but being in that theater especially, just the graphics in that theater, when they panned out to that outer space at one time, you just see all the galaxies and how all of it's kind of, they kind of expose how
galaxies get created.
Yeah, it's I don't know. The visuals were very good for me in this.
The funny thing about the way they explain galaxies being created is that it's not any more or less realistic than what humans believe.
Yeah.
There's no way to disprove it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, I agree. I thought seeing the level of power that's out there now, because you just got back from a whole series of guys, a person that could snap his fingers and erase half of existence. So now, how are you going to one-up that?
Should be a line in the movie.
They should do it, I think. But you come from that big of a bad guy that built 12 years to get to, or whatever it was, and then now you're on to the next thing. Who's going to be the bad guy? We don't really know yet, because you got Kong the Conqueror, who's in charge of time. You have these Celestials who apparently created everything from the beginning, and it's just a bunch of beefs out there.
I think they're just rebuilding. It's almost like starting over. I mean, we're gonna see characters that we know, obviously, but they're also building, I think, the next
that's what I'm saying.
big one.
It's cool because we knew Thanos was going to be the main villain after Avengers.
After the first Avengers, yeah.
And now we know that there's a couple options for some pretty big villains, and all of them make Thanos look.
Is Kong celestial?
No, Kong's just, for whatever reason, extremely powerful.
Right.
And
he's just a superhero that can control time.
Yeah. So there are definitely a bunch of options.
There's a ton. There's so many ways for them to be bad guys.
The Wish Lady.
Yeah.
Whoever that was from
Scarlet.
Not Scarlet, but the person that Agatha was scared was coming.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is going to be huge. Spider-Man is going to be, I think, where we really see what's coming next.
Oh, I disagree.
No?
Oh, maybe.
I think you're going to get it in Doctor Strange.
But Doctor Strange is in
I know
Spider-Man.
His movie.
The multiverse.
Yeah. Okay.
I think his movie because reasons.
Okay.
There's reasons.
But yes,
Not doing it again.
I agreed with a lot of what the guys here are saying. I thought the acting was pretty outstanding across the board. All the actors, I think, did a great job. Special effects, phenomenal. And the story wasn't hard to follow for something that I would say. I mean, unless you're a comic book lover and have read these stories growing up, you're not going to know this, right? This is all new to anybody who's just watching the movies,
Sure.
Me included. I've read some comics, but I don't go that deep into this, and it was explained in a way that was easy to understand and follow when they're introducing this entire new world of characters.
You had to give a backstory on what 6 or 7 individuals.
And they do a great job giving everybody their own not I don't want to say intro because they're all kind of intro together, but like just each person got to develop as like the characters developed. So you see them, and then kind of where they go their own way and become who they are, and then they did do a little quick like the one thing where it's like the way they because they're these all powerful beings, right? They've been around for forever, for literally forever, but they didn't help with Thanos, right?
Or anything that happened.
Or anything, and the it's like one line, right? It's like we were instructed not to help unless deviants were involved. They're fighting deviants. They get sent to Earth at the beginning of time, basically, to fight deviants, which have like kind of taken over the planet. They were sent there for it's like
what an original name.
Deviants.
Something we don't like. Call them deviants.
Yeah.
Something we can't obtain.
So yeah,
Screenwriter.
They all. What was that? Damn, I lost my.
So you're saying they explained it off with one line, but then they spent the rest of the movie showing you why they really didn't interfere, which I thought was cool.
Yes, and
they kind of did that in between explaining, which was kind of cool because they give you backstories as they move the story forward.
Yeah, and it's almost like I only brought it up because I read that somewhere. Like normally, like I just accept it and keep moving. Like that's
somebody criticized that.
That was a line I read. Like somebody was like complaining about that.
Before I went in, I was like, they better do a good job of explaining it, and I think they did. That explanation wasn't good, but then the movie progressed and it showed you the real reason why they didn't.
Especially since they showed that line in the previews.
Yeah, and it's like, and like
that has to be the first question.
And to build it into the story is good, so you don't have to spend a whole lot of time. Harping on. You know what I mean? It's I like that.
I mean they give you an answer there, but then you get the answer,
the real
answer, which is really cool.
If there wasn't a real answer, that explanation should have been better.
Yeah,
like we got stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
Our powers don't work against it. Other than the demons.
Yeah. So you guys want to jump into spoilers?
Spoilers.
Yep. Let's do that. So let's jump into some likes, some things that we like. Spoiler alert. Spoilers ahead. Spoilers. Be warned. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. Spoilers for Marvel's Eternals. Okay.
I like.
Watch the movie before. I'm
not going no names, but the Camille
Nanjiani's character Kingo.
I thought he was hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought he was great, and the funny thing is, him and Mac from Always Sunny and Ryan Reynolds are all friends, and I hear about them making fun of each other.
Oh, really?
And now they're all like really good shape.
They're all ripped,
and they're all still really funny. Yeah. So I don't know why, but my brain put that together, and I was like, good for these guys.
His cameraman in this is absolutely hilarious.
Karun.
And he's a human amongst gods, but speaks real wisdom to the gods, which is pretty cool too.
No doubt.
Yeah, really funny. I did also see some criticisms about that, where they like he's like a stereotype of an Indian like comedic support or whatever, and it's like, grow up. He was so good.
The different ethnicities in this movie.
It's from top to bottom.
People
sexual preferences, disabilities. They did everything.
People will always want to hate something. It doesn't matter how perfect the movie is.
Yes.
It's going to be hated on. It doesn't matter. One good thing is that at least if they're hating on you, you know you made a good movie, because people don't care about something that people don't care about. You know what I mean?
Dude,
right. And to your point, he's one of our favorite people in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So even if it is a stereotypical Indian, that paints Indians in a better light.
Right. I'm not looking
We're not
at
saying,
him
I hated him.
Right.
He's not Abu from
he's
The Simpsons.
He's not flying a plane into a tower.
No.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They don't make him look bad.
They do justice by him.
He does an incredible job in this. To go back to your guy that you like, whatever his name is, Camille.
Kingo, yeah.
The scene when they're, I think they do. My favorite thing is I think they do a perfect job of mixing action, story, and comedy together.
Marvel.
I think it's so perfect. Like when you're excited to when you're down to when you're happy, depressed, and laughing. Like I think the roller coaster of emotion in this is almost perfect, honestly. Mm-hmm. But like right in the middle of like some of like the hardcore scene of how their what's her name's character died or whatever, and the one girl walks out. He's talking about how he makes the mead or whatever, and he's like, I chew the corn kernels out myself and let him ferment my spit. He spits the drink back out, and then later on they play that scene. He's sitting at the table, they're going over the plan, and he drinks, and he's like, Spencer Bank's like, we gotta get rid of this.
Just the thought of that is so gross.
Yes, and it's hilarious. It's funny
I
because
feel like he made that up though.
well, Kopi Luau, the coffee is coffee beans that are eaten by wild tree cats, and then they poop it out, and people come and take the seeds out of the poop.
Yeah.
It's Kopi Luau. What was that movie with? Was it Bucket List? Remember that movie Bucket List?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of his favorite coffee, and the rich guy in there, his favorite coffee is Kopi Luau or whatever.
Okay.
And he talks about how it's made, and I didn't believe it, and I looked it up. But the whole idea, and people love it. People pay $80 a bag or whatever it is for that kind of stuff. So.
It's expensive as hell.
Oh yeah. It's just
But that's what truffles are.
Oh yeah.
They're found in pig shit.
Pig poop.
Cool.
The just the intricacies in this, like the casting in this was very, very good. The story is really cool. The action scenes are awesome. The visuals are great.
What I really liked was how they like interwove the Eternals into major events in history.
Yeah.
Like the fall of the Mayan Empire or civilization, whatever you want to call it. The atomic bomb being dropped on Hiroshima. I mean, it's like it really added another layer to the story that I just thought was so cool.
And to touch on that a bit is the name Icarus.
Oh, that's what the last point I was
go
going to
ahead.
make was
Sorry.
that they also touch on like Greek mythology and all that stuff too. Like that's where I was leading, right?
Okay, my bad.
And Icarus, again, we're in spoilers. You find out it's hard to call him a bad guy too, right? Because he's
not a bad guy in my opinion.
Was Thanos?
right, but he ultimately he kind of like betrays the rest of his Eternals, and they fight or whatever, and then when the dust settles and the Eternals are successful, it's like him. How does he stay around now? You can't trust him, right? So he flies directly into the sun,
Superman,
and I just thought that was like just the perfect touch.
Okay. I like that as
I'm
well.
gonna talk about that later.
But what I was saying wasn't necessarily that scene. I was talking about how his name's Icarus, and they say, "Oh, like the god that flew too close to the sun." And he said, "Yeah, we've been around so long that we made that story up, and it just became legend."
Oh,
That was awesome.
yeah.
Because then it explains why they have all these god names. You know what I mean?
Did that scene that you're talking about is yes, I agree with you. Did it explain what was the guy's name? I didn't want me to not give you feedback on that. But did it when you were just talking about the events in history? The one that was in was it 1525 AD when they're fighting out front of the pyramids or whatever? Is that based off like the story from the Mayans where they just disappear? Because he just takes that whole entire tribe and rolls.
Well, yeah.
Is that what happens? They just leave the temples, right?
I didn't
knows.
I didn't think those were Mayans.
I thought it was in Venezuela or something.
He went somewhere else.
Well, I'm saying, like, isn't that like part of history? Like, that whole entire culture just up and disappeared, and he takes over their mind, and they just roll every single one of them.
There are multiple theories, I guess, on how that happened. I mean,
obviously, aliens is the first one, but I'm saying
Frank Reynolds says
No, the Spaniards banged the Mayans, turned them into Mexicans.
Yes, he did say that.
that's aggressive. That's way more aggressive than this story. But I didn't think about that.
That's a Sunny.
I didn't think about
It's a
that
Sunny,
until you just said. But they are standing in one of those Incan or.
I thought that was the Mayan Empire.
It definitely is because it's not like a normal pyramid. It's angled on the way up, but it has a long stairwell up the center of it. And it's definitely Mayan ruins. And Mayans just up and left. Like there is no history after a certain war. That's what I'm saying. I didn't think about that detail at all until you just said that.
Yeah.
As far as explains parts of history,
Well,
because
you're thinking way past me.
They do
Not the Spaniards banging the Mayans.
They do just disappear out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like they create the calendar and leap year and all that shit, and then they're gone for no reason at all. They just leave, and that makes sense because he takes over their minds and takes them all with him.
Yeah.
Kind of cool little thing I just picked up on.
Yeah. That's how we're talking it out.
Yeah, my score's going up.
Talking it out.
Do you guys have any?
I love Salma Hayek. She's getting older now, which is cool because she gets to play like this motherly role. Which obviously, if you're into her younger work, she just turned herself into like a MILF.
Yeah,
but she's still hot as hell. But you feel the passion of what a mother could be from her now that she
was really great.
And she did it so well in this movie, and she changed opinions. bore a big burden, and then she explains it, and it makes sense.
Angelina Jolie, I mean, she was outstanding as this warrior Athena.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Who else are we missing? Like,
the one criticism I saw on the internet that is not my original thought, but I agreed with, and if I didn't see it first, I might have come to this. But the Asian guy with the power punch,
Gilgamesh
looks just like the dude from Doctor Strange.
That's what I thought it was for like the first 20 minutes.
Benedict Wong.
First 20 minutes, I was
when
like,
he does this thing
yes.
and his wrist glows.
First 20
They're
minutes,
like
that's
the
what I
same
thought it
person.
was.
Yeah.
Until they got close enough to him, and I realized like this dude is way more jacked versus fat.
Yeah.
I was like, what? How's this? I thought that was the immediate link between everything. I was like, what is this? Wait a minute, what is this guy doing here?
Right.
But it's not.
No,
It's
he
not,
doesn't.
it's not him.
Yeah. And you're right, the movement and everything.
Same.
Yep. You guys have dislikes? Do you want to move on, or do you have more?
I have. Yeah. No, we can move on.
Do you have something else?
No. I was ready. I'm ready for anything.
You ready?
I don't like how off-center this show is.
All right, go.
So it's not this. Okay, so this may be like in between directors. I guess that's not a director set, but I don't understand how they have accents. That's the only thing I dislike about this is they're 7,000 years old, so they were here before any of this, and they show them prior to a lot of these cultures even being around,
right?
And they had accents then. Why in the hell do they have accents?
That's a good point, and I never thought about that.
That's the very first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, why do any of these people have accents? And
Well,
why is there I'm sorry, and why is there a deaf person?
Yeah.
These people were created to be perfect. Perfect
Spoiler
soldiers.
alert, they're machines.
Why would you create someone who can't hear?
Right. There's absolutely no point.
If it take 2 seconds to write a tiny little backstory as to why they have accents. Like, there were huge influences in these parts of the world, and that's why the accents. Those parts of the world adopted their accents.
Right.
They didn't adopt that part of the
That
world. And then boom.
That would make great, like, part of when they separate after whatever, because they separate in 1525 AD. So a lot of those cultures want to, I don't know what the Scottish accent or whatever that would have been, or even prior to that, right. So that's why him and I both came out with like very similar questions. Like he had a thought and I had a thought. His was the question was the backstory.
Where did the deaf girl come from? She created gangs.
Right. Or she created sign language. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot. There's a lot of they could have. I just think that they missed some things here. And
with her, they just one little thing that explains why her voice is gone.
Right. Maybe
like
maybe a deviant that she battled.
Something.
Or something.
She got bit.
You know what I mean?
Or
Right.
something.
Right. Would have made sense because when you find out who they are and how spoiler that they're made. Yeah. Like, what would be the point of making somebody who's deaf to give them a disadvantage in this scenario? Because you don't want them not to work unless her being deaf is an asset to the future of what happens. You know what I mean?
And it could be. I guess
it can't be now though. They had to put it in the movie.
Right.
No. What I'm saying is, I guess what I thought of was just like they were all designed specifically for a reason.
Yeah, right, which is what I agree with. But
but they all could talk.
But why? But why?
I came out with one question, and he came. I'll let you say yours. But he came out with another one. But they're both our ideas are good. You go.
Yeah. No, it's good. Like we're saying, we agree. If they just. And I'm completely fine with her being deaf. In fact, I really liked her. Yeah. I just wish the movie would have explained it that tiny bit. Yeah. Like she sliced her throat with something earlier, whatever. Like Bumblebee from Transformers. I never understood why they couldn't fix him.
Fix his voice.
Just fix it. What are you doing? I want to hear him.
Well, and I could be.
They build that. I thought they built that into there, like him trying to find the radio. And
they do. Like well, the first movie makes sense, but there's 40 of them. Like fix it by now.
Yeah.
They brought Optimus Prime back to life 4 times. Fix his voice.
Now this could just be my ignorance, but like deaf people, right? Their voices they sound like that because they don't know how to speak, right? Like they don't know what they sound like.
Have no tone, right?
Right. So that's why. So that's why her voice sounded the way it did.
You don't know how to enunciate.
Right. So I guess I just never thought that like I needed to really explain why her voice is gone because like I accept that she's deaf. Yep. That's what she would sound like. But I guess in terms of thinking about the characters, though,
right?
If you were creating a super soldier, would you make it deaf?
No, right.
Which is exactly what
they're doing. And as we touch on this movie, they were hitting every check
Yes.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Every bullet point
yeah.
for inclusion.
Well,
right?
it's very hard for me to.
Yeah.
It's just two things, and I'm super critical because of this now.
Yeah.
But like, it's always little stupid analytical stuff, like what's the name hanging off the side of the thing and not be able to get. It's little tiny details when the movie's really good.
That's what Netflix does terrible.
That I grab onto. Well, Netflix will have a bunch of those. This I really like.
This movie
because the movie was so good.
Close, yeah.
The things that stand out really stand out to me because it's like great. Why doesn't that? And then my brain just stays there because there's nothing else. Like I can't. It's like eating one really really spicy chip or a bunch of kind of spicy chips. You know what I mean? Like you'll only know how hot that one thing is because it's the only thing that gets you. And I don't want to take. Did you have something? Because I feel
if
like
there's another one. It would be, why is Sprite a kid?
That's a good point too.
Like, what is the point of having a child?
I don't know.
And why the powers? That was what I thought you were going to say.
Oh yeah, we can talk about
that's
that.
the first. That's I was trying to set you up to say that, but that was another thing. We came up with very similar ideas because you don't really get any of their backstory or
it's random powers.
Right. You would think that there would be to be honest with you, why not give them all of them powers if you make them? Because Superman is fast, he can fly, he can shoot the lasers at his eyes, he's super strong. Why make any of them dominant? If they're all there to do what they do, why give them all separate powers? Now I get it.
And you can explain that too, director's hat. If the guy just says, if they all have these powers and they unite, they'll be too dangerous for even a Celestial.
Right.
That's literally what I was just
say
going to
that.
say.
Right.
Yeah.
But say it.
There's no way for me to separate the herd if one of them decides to grow a heart. You know what I mean? I can beat them one at a time, but if all of them are as strong as all of them together, Captain Planet style, I can't beat them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But don't make me solve that. Don't make us solve that after the movie because that makes perfect sense. And I mean that's a director's head thing, but again, it's very hard for me to find bad in the movie. It's just it's so good. I really just wish there was just.
Yeah.
That's what takes it
And
out
it
of
could.
the nine.
And it could too. Like if they explain in the next one where all of there's one person like Hercules who has all of those powers and they tried it with him and he just became too rebellious because he was too powerful that they bailed out.
Right.
But to your point, spoiler alert, at the end they run into Thanos' little brother, which is pretty cool. And he has different powers.
Yeah.
But he's he wasn't a Celestial, right?
No,
he was an Eternal.
No, he's an Eternal.
He's an Eternal,
Which was my other.
How are you Thanos' little brother if you were created by a Celestial?
Which was my other question. It's like,
Adopted. He's not purple.
wouldn't you think? Because the worlds are the worlds, unless they explain this.
Thanos' daddy got cheated on.
Why wouldn't every group of 8, 10 Celestial Eternals have the same powers? If it's basically
Right. But that's just.
But you know what I mean? It's. I think I'm going to allow my score to change at some point on this because there's going to be a future to this movie. But those are the questions that I have going forward that I wish maybe we could at least got some insight.
Every other
maybe
superhero has a backstory to their powers that are
and
specific
they gave them kind of cool stories of where they went. But it's like they're 7,000 years old compared to Earth. You could have said any of those specific like the guy who talks. Okay, so the guy who speaks who can change people's mind. Now you kind of understand. You kind of understand why they put him in the story and why he has that power because of what happened in that scene. So, but like they didn't give him that power knowing that was going to happen. And maybe they gave him that power because at some point they know that you need to be able to take over the minds of maybe even one of the other Eternals or something. You know what I mean?
But that's another thing. Questions though: can he take over powerful people's minds, or just like Jedi? Is it just Jedi?
Is that a question? No. I felt like they answered that at the end.
Well, that's a baby though. Like technically, that thing don't have no mind yet.
The Celestial? I mean, the Celestial that he has?
Because he's not even birthed yet. But why wouldn't he just control other people on the Celestial's mind?
You mean the Eternals? He can't. They say that.
Oh, okay.
He does say that in the movie that he can't.
Well, all right, cool.
He can't change the thought of the Eternals.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm bringing my score down. We need to talk more happiness about this.
No,
the movie's so good, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's easy to embellish the one thing that's wrong, but I mean, it's 2 hours and 30 minutes of great movie.
Anything I had was like nitpicky. I don't have much. The guy Druig, the mind guy, like he's from Scotland, right? He's got an accent, but it dropped in and out. Like,
I loved him in this.
I love the character. Him and Makari, the deaf girl. They were my two favorite characters.
And they were dating.
Yeah. But like his accent, I felt like it would be there, and then sometimes it wouldn't be there.
Right.
Fastos was great.
He's my favorite character.
Yeah.
He's hilarious in this.
Lines.
Lines?
Let's get to some lines.
That's the black guy.
Engineer.
Engineer.
Oh yeah, he was good.
Yeah. Get to some lines.
All right, so mine is, and this is the one that's on the previews, but I love this scene because he goes to his. They go so they need Fasto's help. So Icarus and
Jon.
what's the girl's name? The main girl.
Cersei.
Cersei. Go to. It's Cersei. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go to Fasto's house because they need him. They need his. Well, really, they need shit.
His power is just. He's
a super mechanic, and he's like, yeah, I'm trying to live a normal life. And he's like, you live a normal life now, and he just shoots the laser at the door, or shoots whatever at the door, and the door's got that like really nice glass. It's bulletproof glass basically. And he's like, does that look like a normal life to you? And he's like, he says, I bet you built a perfect safe house. And what's this even made of? Vibranium? And he slams the shit out of the table, and the table just breaks in half. And he looks at him and goes, Fall collection, IKEA ass.
Yeah.
That scene is, I mean, I seen it in the previews, but the setup for it is even better because they don't show it leading up to that. But knowing it was coming, it was still funny to me. I really enjoyed that scene. And I think he's great there. And then at the very end of the movie, when, what's her name? Athena is in the kitchen or whatever. He's like, what are your powers or whatever? He just she shoots the thing through the orange or whatever. And he's like, okay. Whatever, he just separates them.
Great babysitting. These are revoked.
Aren't you guys heading out of here? Like, I don't know. I just think, I don't know. His character is very funny to me.
Yeah. Mine was a line that Karan, is that his name? Yeah. Karan, the human.
Jewish.
The human video camera guy.
His name is Karan?
Karun, I think.
Okay.
Karun. I was saying it wrong. I think it's Karun.
Karan is like what
yeah. But I'm blanking on like the lead into it. But basically, he just says, "Life affords no greater duty than to protect one's family," and I thought that was a pretty good line. Yeah.
That's when they're at the dinner table and they decide what they got to do.
Yeah.
No, they're in the spaceship and they're deciding if they're going to protect him or not. Like, you're going to go fight to protect the world.
Oh yeah. His character's so good.
Yeah, he's great, man.
Breezy?
Yeah.
You got a line? Do you ever have a line?
My favorite line's from the deaf girl. What she did.
Well, she did what?
She said this. No, I do not have a favorite line.
All right.
I'm not very good with lines.
Man. All right. Would you guys change anything?
She definitely screams no at one point.
Yeah.
I know that for sure. I remember that part.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my favorite thing. And we kind of... So we had... Me and John were talking a little bit through the movie. Sorry to people that could hear us. But we were... This is going to happen. Or this is going to happen. And both of us pretty much crushed it as far as what was going to happen.
He nailed the last part.
Yeah, the second end credits. I was very excited about.
Oh, hold on. Speaking of, I got to give a shout out to my buddy Jason Colon, right?
Shout out.
Real quick, before we get... Because what you just said, you saying you're being on it and calling shit. Dude, the second Cersei and Icarus link back up, right? And Icarus says whatever bullshit about, that's the first time I've seen a deviant or whatever. Jason goes, that's a lie. He's never seen the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I had.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, did you just guess that? And after the movie, I was like, dude, how did you know? And he's like, his delivery.
Yeah.
It's just the way he delivered the line, the way he was looking. I was like,
Good call.
I was like, I just didn't notice it. So shout out to you, man. That was good shit.
Do
And
you
he
think
guessed
you've
one
seen a
other
deviant
thing.
before?
Who?
Jon Snow's character?
No. We're talking about Icarus. Icarus and Cersei when they first.
When he said, that's the first time I've seen him do that before?
No. He says like, I didn't know the deviant was back or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
And Jason goes,
No, he
"That's
did.
a
Yeah,
lie."
I think so. I've never seen him do that before where
He takes his power and he was healing himself.
Yeah. That whole scene.
Yeah.
And then when he tells Cersei,
Oh, that was a good call, yeah.
and he's like,
Sure.
I was like, damn, you just fucking basically hit the nail on the head with that.
Yeah, I didn't even.
Yeah.
Breezy said something about Jon Snow's character getting that ring. I didn't even see. I wasn't putting that together yet at all. My ears did start flaring up, well after that. But like the apologize to your uncle thing, I was trying to remember where he said.
For no reason, she was like, call your uncle. Or something. And I was like, who the fuck is his uncle?
Right, make amends with your uncle. And so he said that to me, and like that's when my ears started flaring. But he knew.
You knew who his uncle was?
No, but
I knew. I figured he was a vampire hunter.
Yeah.
Okay.
He kept saying Van Helsing or something, but he called that shit pretty.
It's not Van Helsing, but a version of that Marvel.
Well, you'll see. There's 2 end credits. Okay, there's 2. Make sure you stay for the second one. Half the people in the theater left.
Idiots.
That's why I text you.
Idiots.
We stood up.
Yeah.
Because
I Googled it.
It's not
while he texted you, and you were faster than Google.
because he knew we were at the movies.
I know, it was quick. You were like, yep. And I was like, oh, it popped up. Yes, but you were quick. So
That post, I don't have anything I would change. So if you just want to talk about the post-credit scene real quick, that's fine for me. Unless you guys have something you would change.
we already kind of talked about what I would change. Just some of that stuff.
Change.
Like director's hat. Would you have done anything differently?
I don't. Do director's hats also count to where I think it's going to go? Or no?
It can.
Can I?
Whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a quick one.
Okay.
And yes, it can do whatever. If you're a
If
director,
you're the director, you can do whatever you want, John.
And this is what I would do in this movie. Aside from the stuff we've already discussed about explaining the powers a little bit and explaining the accents and deafness, which is easy, by the way. Goddamn. Just call us. We will do this for you.
Let us get a preview of it.
What would have been awesome for me if there was a tiny cameo of another Avenger.
I would have loved that.
Like in a fight scene somewhere.
To be fair,
If
I want that in
be fair.
every single one.
Of course, but it doesn't even have to be anything like too expensive.
Yeah.
Like it could be Tom Holland's voice and Spider-Man shows up in New York and just protects something and then he gets blasted away. Or it could be like Doctor Strange walks through a portal and he realizes what's going on and he's like, you guys got this? Like fights a little bit and then lets it be like
Maybe Doctor Strange goes back in time and turns that one guy who's got a strong fist into the Asian guy who does the time.
But this, so like they're fighting, and like just imagine this scene, right? They've got the Icarus tied up on the beach, and somebody from Avengers shows up
Scarlet Witch.
and punches one of the deaf girls or something, and they're just like wrong side.
There's only one deaf girl.
Because how are you supposed to know?
Or Scarlet Witch comes there and just keeps his mind tight for a couple minutes. Why?
But I mean, like shows up, accidentally fights the wrong person because how do you know who's good and who's bad?
Talk about a good fight. Scarlet Witch and Druid, man. They're both mine.
No shot, not even close.
But they're
he
both-
doesn't even stand a chance against
But-
her.
She is one of those.
She
top
don't-
ones.
I know she is.
She's one of the top. She's one of the top.
Yes,
guys
she
in
to
all of
me.
the
I've
universe.
said it. She is the.
He doesn't have any physical attributes other than being able to control her mind from a distance, and she can
Okay.
power him out of there, and then also shoot him with shit.
He also lives alone.
All right.
All right, well, don't be talking about my girl like that.
That's
man.
my girl.
Shit! All he needs to do is just lay low until she dies of old age,
That's true.
and then you win.
And then you win.
My only thing is, I don't think that Icarus is dead.
Oh.
I think that Icarus flies into the sun. So this is the reason I say this, and this is what I find true in most superhero movies, from The Boys to shows to anything. And every single superhero, not to see him die, but every single superhero is the strongest when they're about to die. So she didn't realize. Okay, remember in Loki? She didn't realize she could take over that monster or control his mind until they literally thought they were about to die. In The Boys, she kept throwing his son out of the window until he realized his powers. In this, the one girl who can change the earth she changed that thing into a tree, but only when she was about to die. This man's flying into the sun. He's never been about to die before. I think that he's going to fly into the sun and be about to die and find out what his true power is.
No,
They're going to
if
use
the sun makes him more powerful, it's direct plagiarism.
I think
of Superman.
I definitely think that's going to happen.
Jesus, John.
I think that at some point that Ian's kids. At some point, I think that he's going to come back, and because he couldn't pull the trigger because he actually loved Cersei. I think that he's going to come back and be how they get away. I think that Arishem, same letters, different order. Arishem is going to decide that he wants to destroy Earth because there hasn't been a great history, and he's going to help stop him. That's what I think. He's going to come back way stronger and good.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I think you, first of all, deciding to kill yourself, not kill yourself, but sacrifice yourself because of the person that you became, I think is the greatest sacrifice.
Throwing this out there real quick, I meant to say earlier, I hated how they had enough power to make Sprite a human.
Well, she had just enough left.
What the fuck does that even mean?
That was a weird.
I got a lot of power. You're a human now.
Human.
The fuck? You just be changing?
I was like, whatever.
I'm glad she
I didn't like Sprite anyway.
Well, no, she had to change
Okay.
because it takes 10 years to make these. She ain't gonna be a little girl in 10 years.
Right.
Yeah. True.
They're gonna need to bring her back.
Yeah.
I do like the old Captain Planet-esque.
Yeah.
How they combine their powers to make one superhuman.
The Unimind.
Yeah, the Unimind, which is basically Captain Planet.
Yeah. Okay. I don't really have anything. I wouldn't.
I don't. So it's so hard. I don't want to change anything.
No, I do. I want to change things.
And I do. And I want to come back to this and review it like we did because we've seen all of the James Bond movies.
Yes.
I can give the earlier movies higher ratings because I know how the rest of them go.
Dude,
It's a lot better than Captain Marvel.
When this next phase finishes or whatever, phase 4 ends, we should just do a whole episode about it.
This will be one of the new Eternals.
Why do you have a metal head? I don't know. No one told me.
No one told me why. I just drink beer, walk around with this. Now, who knows when you need to recycle cardboard?
All right, well, let's score it, boys. Let's score this bad boy.
8-7.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would definitely 8-2.
Okay.
It actually has gone up since we watched it. Specifically because of that explaining history.
We're getting too spoiled with Marvel being amazing, so it's harder for us. Like, I'm way more critical now.
I'm a big space guy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
8-4.
I'm a big space guy. I love the graphics in this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm ultra anticipating the future of this because I love where this is going to go.
I'm excited to see some fight scenes in other Marvel movies around the hand.
Can I tell you another thing?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry. God, I hate when I do that because my brain will think about it if I don't say it. But I love that they pay homage to Blade because if it wasn't for Blade, Marvel would be shit right now. Blade literally saved them years ago, and he doesn't get any everybody's like Iron Man and Avengers and all. Look, if it wasn't for Blade, Marvel wouldn't be where they are now. Blade was enormous. It brought Marvel back. Yeah. And for them to pay homage after all this, I think is huge. I love that part about this movie. That's definitely his voice, right?
Oh yeah, that was Mahershala Ali. That's Blade.
Yeah.
That totally. And I'm with you. I've been actually wanting to rewatch the Blade movies because of this.
They're so good.
But Ryan Reynolds in Blade Trinity, dude, when he says,
Hold on. Nope, go finish. And then I want to say something pop in my brain while you're talking.
Think about it.
In Blade,
cut him off like I do.
In Blade Trinity, when he's on his knees in the room and he's like held hostage or whatever, and he's like, I had a ton of garlic for lunch, and I just farted. I lost it when he said it's one of the funniest.
He's so good.
Yeah,
He's great.
But yeah, man, those were great movies, and I always say, without Iron Man and Robert Downey, you don't have what you have to. But what you're saying is accurate.
Yeah.
When I always say that, though, I'm talking about specifically.
I get it. I agree with that part.
But yes,
universe.
Blade saved Marvel. 100%.
Absolutely.
Do you think that Jon Snow is potentially a bad guy?
Could
because
be. Yeah.
in Blade, it was the guy with the sword who wanted to be a super vampire king. And that's who Blade's main enemy was in the first one.
Because that wasn't against.
I just
samurai
assumed
sword.
he was a vampire hunter.
Right.
But what if he's actually a vampire, about that action?
Yeah, could be.
Hopefully, he's for the good in this.
Seriously,
I hope he's not a little bitch.
Yeah,
because I've seen him for Game of Thrones. He was a little bitch.
At least if there's a
and
vampire.
then in this movie, he was cuckolded almost immediately.
At least if he becomes a vampire in this, at least it'll be a bunch of sex. That's almost guaranteed. Before you go any further, I seen Shang-Chi.
But that's what I was gonna.
Yeah.
My man's reading it.
Shang-Chi.
I saw Shang-Chi.
I just wrote Shang-Chi down here.
That's what I was gonna end with.
Yeah.
Since we don't have a game or whatever, the last thing I was gonna do is say, hey,
Hey,
Jon finally fucking saw Shang-Chi.
I was gonna say it earlier, but I wanted to say it at the back end.
Chang.
Yeah.
So I finally got it for free.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Tsung, 10 rings. I'm gonna give it an 8.2.
Okay.
I really enjoyed
I gave it 8. You're giving it an 8 also?
an 8 also, yes. But
So
0.2.
8.2.
I love like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon movies. I love those old cultural style fight scenes because if you watch any real ethnic Asian fight scene movies, any Asian fight movie, martial arts movies,
Sure.
it's always walking in the trees and
They paid homage to that too.
and different, huh?
They paid homage.
Oh
to
yeah,
that.
yeah. And I thought that was really, really cool. I like a lot of animated movies like Ninja Scroll. Dragon Ball Z was cool, but Ninja Scroll and some of those movies, Guyver, some of those and they pay a lot of homage to this kind of thing. I thought there was good humor in it. I thought the actual fight scenes where you really get to see him go hand to hand with some of the people were awesome. His character is okay. I think he's he's a scotch better than The Rock, in my opinion. He's not like a super actor. I think if it wasn't for his girl in this, who I think is hilarious.
I thought would have been funnier in this.
I think she's hilarious. I don't think she's allowed to be super funny in this because I think her character has plenty of positions where she's supposed to be serious because of him.
Yeah.
I think that she could have been closer to a Reynolds to The Rock in this.
It would have been cooler if she was. I wish she was funnier.
My favorite character was the sister. I don't know who was yours, but
yeah, the sister's good. Two lines that I wrote when they find the guy in the basement. And he's got the little creature with him.
The fucking the Mandarin.
Mandarin.
Yeah.
Awesome callback.
So, and I text you on this. There's a scene when they're upstairs in the first dinner that they have after the father catches them all.
Yeah.
And he said, "I was hired years ago by U.S. government to interfere during a war," and he references himself as the Mandarin. Did you notice
he created the Mandarin. Yeah, that evil organization was the Mandarin. Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. That was one thing I was wondering. But when they get down to the basement, and they meet that guy, and she's like, "Look, I've done dumber things for worse odds, but if that little chicken pig is right," I broke out into the hardest laughter during that scene. And like Jeff was like just walking in, and I broke out into the hardest laughter. And then honestly, the next scene, next line was her, and like, cause she's never really accomplished anything, and she's super smart. She got like a master's or whatever, and whatever. But the grandmom in the village, she's like, "Give me the bow," and he hands it to her. She's like, If you aim at nothing, you hit nothing, which is a pretty cool line because
line, yeah.
I mean, she's just saying like you could potentially be good at anything, but you've never tried at anything, so you have no idea.
Yeah.
She's Pete.
I wonder what my line was from that movie. I don't know if I had one because I only saw it the one time. Yeah. Good, but I'm glad you saw it, man.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I could definitely watch that again. I actually might watch it again because it's free now. I will definitely watch Eternals again.
I revisit all of them.
Yeah.
The whole MCU.
Oh yeah, we gotta do like a.
Can I tell you
viewing
something?
party.
I've only seen Endgame one time,
Well, that's because you're an idiot.
and we saw it at like midnight.
And it was amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I yelled, I
All
cried, I
it's awesome.
screamed. Awesome.
I've only seen Infinity War twice.
Well, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're a goddamn professional movie reviewer.
It's embarrassing, right? And Infinity Wars is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
and I've only seen it 2 times.
And it's so good every time.
Yeah. So let's say cover to cover.
This
I've
is not
probably
one of the
seen
top
some
10.
of that movie a bunch of times, but I've only sat down and put it on because I just 3 hours, bro. It's a long time. They're dedicated, but I have seen Shawshank Redemption 50 times.
Maybe we could do like a Marvel viewing situation.
We'll do something. We'll do another re-ranking after the end of phase. Remember we did the first Marvel rankings. We can do that again. We can do a viewing thing after the next movie awards. We can maybe rent a theater for a Marvel movie if we want to do that instead of
it's all day.
Whatever, I mean, we'll figure it all out. But there it is. Scores are locked in for Eternals. And finally, all 3 of us for Shang-Chi. There's a lot of black spots on this spreadsheet.
John's got to catch up.
Yeah, a lot of
I've
movies.
seen a lot of those.
You still got to watch Kate, you son of a bitch.
What's it called?
Kate, the one on Netflix.
What's it about?
It's the one where I pretended to be you,
Oh, it's a movie about it.
an assassin.
Yeah, she gets,
Gets
poisoned.
poisoned.
Oh, yeah,
24
I saw
hours.
that episode.
So what episode?
The review. Where you explain the movie.
Yeah.
I've probably seen a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
I can give you.
No shots tonight. Chris just ended the episode.
Let's do a shot.
No, it's okay.
Hell no. I forgot we had the podcast. We need a shot. Can't do the podcast.
Did you turn it off yet?
No.
Oh, you gotta leave all this in there. You should have did like in Ted Lasso. He's like, I'm gonna back this one up. He does that shit so perfect. It looks like he rewinded it.
That Jim Carrey. Shout out to Jim Carrey. Oh, we're doing Jack Daniels.
We're doing Jack, just in case anybody was wondering. Is this me? Are you John Wayne?
Is that me? What does he say? Yeah.
So good. Is this me?
Yeah.
Is this your shotgun?
That is. What do we want to do next week?
That was my next question.
Damn, I ran over there real
So quick!
John
You gotta
said
pee or something?
You miss a shot you don't take. I was like, I'm shooting. Arrow shot.
Aiming for this to be over.
I was thinking, there is some new stuff out, but what if the next 3 weeks or something we all pick a movie that the other 2 haven't seen,
Man, you know how hard that's gonna be.
Dragon Ball Super.
Okay, we can talk about it after.
I
the
watched
fact.
that.
It's gonna be a
Damn
while.
it.
Wait, I haven't seen it.
I'm sure I had plenty that both you fucks had.
All right, so yeah, we'll have a conversation offline. We'll see who goes first. We'll
Debbie
pick one
does
that John
Dallas.
hasn't seen.
Yeah.
I never seen it to completion. Or have I?
I've seen that movie about 60 times. It's 60 minutes long, and I've never seen the same scene.
Real talk for
Yeah.
real movies, yeah,
Like,
real listen.
you're still
Real
here.
life on real
Like the
hype.
video,
Real
share the video,
living,
subscribe to
underrated,
the YouTube
appreciated, or barely made it.
Leave us a comment.
Law made, yeah, you really hate it. And Christmas like in the past, he thought it going better. And like Jess, it didn't show up and we don't let him. It's real talk, no theoretical, though it ain't invisible, man. It's so dependable, damn. You can't see him if it's dark or bright. Ask Chris with his Miller Lite. Or Blockbuster, it's so good, right? Candyman or Tony Dodd or Holy God. I mean the devil all the time, or at least a lot. Apocalypto, go against the grain like your boy Adam, who drink Jack like Jungle Land and Nick Mullins. Educators, tell us what you know about him. Is it bad or good like Peanut Butter Falcon? Special guests like Danny D and Dave Arnold. Let us look to the future, event horizon. In real life, the movie will never stop. Till it does, we drop and there's no getting up. Till then, subscribe and they let you know the tops. Only way to know for sure is to watch. So shut up and drink your pops, your soda and corn pops. And listen to the real life movie talk. I'm isolated like the lady in black. And I seek revenge for these movies that whack.